Oh, are we are we live? Wait, crap. Are we live on Facebook? Oh man. Oh, I'm live. Hi. Wow. Welcome. Y'all, I was caught off guard. I'm not gonna lie. I was caught off guard. Did I have RBF? Was I just sitting here not ready for this? I'm ready for this now. Y'all, I am ready to have a conversation. I feel so stupid. Anyway, I'm going to show up until I blow up. I'm going to embrace my mistakes. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to share my screen because I want to pop into a conversation around things that I've been learning around reels and understanding how to use them for business, and then share what I know because I want to challenge and invite you to do the same. So here we are. We're going to be talking about what that is. And my husband is apparently eating snacks that are the loudest snacks to ever exist on the face of this earth. I hope they're delicious. All right. So we are going to have a chat, and this chat is going to be about Instagram Reels. So I actually just create content around questions that I'm frequently asked, and this one is coming in from Jamie Lindsay. What is the one thing you would tell someone just beginning to build a social media presence? Now, I particularly liked Jamie's question because it wasn't what can I do for Facebook, or what can I do for YouTube, or what can I do for LinkedIn or just Instagram? She's just like, I want to build a social media presence. Great. Well, my deeply empathetic answer is going to be to create reels. Now, I know that when I say, hey, I started my reels journey by creating TikToks, and I started learning what was working on TikTok. And then when Instagram Reels debuted, I immediately jumped in 2 feet at a time. So my question for you, we're just going to answer a simple question. It's going to be like a quiz. Think of this as like a Cosmo quiz that you used to take when you were in high school. So what is your relationship with reels? Are you number one, I've never created a reel? Are you number two, I make reels, but I don't really know what works? Or are you number three, I'm a total pro? Okay, I want to know your answer because then we could shape this conversation and ensure that we're on the same page. So wherever you are, whatever you answered, 1, 2, or 3, I have been there and I know what it feels like to kind of just be like putting content out and not quite sure if this is the best use of your time. I also know what it feels like to feel extraordinarily awkward as you put out your reels. I know what it feels like to feel like stupid and ask yourself, am I too old to be pointing at words on a screen? Am I too geriatric to be dancing? Should my hips be moving at this rotation? I get all of those things and I understand the undercurrent, because we could talk about how you feel stupid or how you feel awkward or how you're like somebody's going to say something, but at the end of it, it's truly the core root of it is fear of how you feel and fear of what other people will say. But despite the emotional connection or cognizance of reels, there is also like an undeniable fact. So you have emotion, how you feel, and then there are facts. Is that right now, as a fact, Instagram Reels are indexed higher than anything else in the algorithm. Instagram Reels are fast-paced, they're entertaining, they're educational, and the beauty about Reels is that almost imperfection is celebrated. Very few people are watching Reels for their cinematic quality or for their ability to be like, this is the most gorgeous thing I've ever seen. So once we've established emotion, this undercurrent of fear of feeling stupid or awkward creating a reel, and then we have facts, like no denying reels are here to stay, TikTok is here to stay, and they're changing the shape and nature of social media. Once we establish that, Chrissy asked, okay, reels are great, get thousands of views, but are they really my ideal client? How do I ensure that? Basically, Chrissy is asking, how do I not waste time? How am I making content that is attracting a customer? So my response is, first things first, you're not going to know what is working for your business until you start creating reels. Because the fact of the matter is, you actually won't know in the beginning if they're turning your followers into customers until you start creating enough reels to give you insights on, number one, what people find engaging, entertaining, educational. Number two, what is actually highlighting your business. And then number three, then that is when you will see it move the needle in your business. But you can't get to step number three until you get to step number one. So as a little bit of context, I am creating reels. Now, I know that if I really, really, really wanted to grow as fast as humanly possible, I would be creating one TikTok every single day. If you are starting from scratch, you have no idea which way is up, but you know you want to grow your business and you want to grow a platform fast. If I were you, I would be creating a TikTok, one TikTok every single day. But most of us don't have that time, bandwidth, or capacity. So I took a step back and say, what can I manage? How do I push myself without burning myself out? And I have determined that I can create 3 reels a week. And I've stayed to that cadence since we started on Reels. So what I want to do right now, and part of the reason why I'm sharing my screen in this capacity, is I want to show you the reels that have worked really well for me. And when I started seeing these analytics, I started saying, I've learned something here, I'm going to apply it to future reels. But before we get there, let's kind of sharpen your learning curve. So here are 3 of my best performing reels, and we're going to kind of outline what made them work. Great. That was the first reel. So when I took a step back and I was actually hundreds of thousands of views, and I'm like, wow, how did this reel set itself apart from the others? I noticed 2 things, but the first and foremost was that there was fun, creative transitions. The transitions were happening almost every 2.5 seconds, 3 seconds. And on each transition, I was adding text. So the text was moving with the transition, keeping the viewer entertained until the end. Now, just yesterday, 2 days ago, Instagram, the creators account on Instagram, they released a full breakdown of how the algorithm is judging and assessing reels. The number 1 factor on how you can get your reels seen by more people is when you show your reel, if the first group of people that they show the reel to, on average, 2% of your followers, if your followers are watching the entire reel, it's indicating to the algorithm that more people will want to see it because it's so interesting. It kept them to the end and perhaps started it all over again. Transitions and adding text make that super powerful. So what we want to really focus on right now is that transitions keep people glued to your content. The transitions will keep people glued to your content on Reels, but what you also notice is as I'm giving this presentation, I'm moving slides with this. Why? Because the transition keep people glued. So transitions, I know the minute I say transitions, people say, oh my gosh, it takes so much time. Yes, but just like anything, the more you do it, the faster you get. And the beauty is that the faster you become at them, you start realizing how powerful and how worth it they are because you're getting more views on them, AKA more people watching a mini commercial about your business. Okay, so I'm gonna go into the second reel that this is I think this was the second reel that got over 1 million views. And when I was recording this reel, I'm gonna tell you right now, I did not want to dance to a Britney Spears song. And in full candor, I hated the clothes I was wearing. In full candor, I feel like I've gained a bunch of weight and the video shows it entirely. I also, at the time of this recording, was recording this outside and somebody was in a nearby building and he leaned over the second story and he was on a Zoom meeting and he held his laptop over the balcony and was just like, hey guys, look it, they're out here filming TikToks. Are you a wannabe celebrity? Like, and I am sitting there with my iPhone about to record this and all I want to do, I'm tired, I'm frustrated, I'm trying to batch my content because I know that reels are moving the needle in my business. And then I have this jerk who decides to have an opinion about what I'm doing. Everything in me wanted to run back inside, but I said, you know what? His opinion doesn't pay my bills and I need to get this done. I'm about to show you that reel now. this video was entitled The 7 Mistakes I Made in My Business. At the time, this particular remix of the Britney Spears song, Oops, I Did It Again, and then it said, oops, 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 oops. Every time she said oops, I pointed to a different mistake, one of 7 mistakes. And I am telling you, the minute this video dropped, it got shared so many times, a ton of views. And if I would have listened to my fear of my outfit, of my weight gain, of this like idiot yelling at me from a building, making me feel stupid, I would have missed out on an opportunity. I'm sorry, Lord, forgive me. He's not an idiot. He just wasn't hugged as a child. I shouldn't say things that are negative. So let's focus on one thing that really empowered the video to get as many views is that I focused on using a trending song. At the time, that song, that Britney Spears song was trending and different people were interpreting that song according to their business or their industry. I created it to contextualize the 7 mistakes I made in my business. So trending songs allow people to come across your content because there are people that do searches based on trending songs to see the cultural conversation that is existing at that time. So what we're going to do is we're going to dive into a third reel. And the thing that I want to focus on is that when you're using transitions, when you're adding text to your reels or your TikToks, when you're looking at trending songs, this is a cognizant way of working smarter, not harder. I'm not the kind of business coach that's going to tell people to like run up a mountain barefoot in the snow. I really am like, listen, I've been there, I've done that. Here's what I'm learning. Here are the tools that we can do to transform our business in the way that we're showing up. So how do you find trending songs specifically on Instagram? Because you can find a trending song on TikTok. If you go to my TikTok account, you will see a TikTok on how to find trending songs on TikTok. And you will also find a reel, how to find trending songs on reels on my Instagram. But here, as I'm creating this chat and this video, you are going to begin a draft as a reel. And then you're going to click on the audio icon in the left menu. And then you're going to tap on the see more and you're going to see that see more is going to be next to the trending button. That's how you find a trending song. So this video.
Baby, you inspire people who pretend to not even see you. Trust me, they see you.
This reel was less than 10 seconds. It's a voiceover. That's not even my voice. Came across this audio. I really, really, really liked what it embodied. It was inspirational and it was so close to my heart. I believe that you inspire people who pretend to not even see you, but trust me, they see you. Those were somebody else's words that I just lipped over because I believe it's a reflection of my business. As founder and CEO of Social Curator, I empower business owners to show up even when people are not talking back to them on engagement or comments. Why? Because we know people are watching. So I put this out and I had no idea. This reel took me honestly, it took me less than 2 minutes to make. I used the audio. I thought about what I was going to say. I said it alongside it. I saved it, never thinking that it was going to get over 1 million views in the first 48 hours. So what made that particular reel successful? Well, it was short. So it expedited people getting to the end of it faster. It was inspirational. I've noticed that a lot of things like Upworthy or Good News Network on Instagram, a lot of these posts are being repurposed because right now in human history, it is such a funky time. We're coming off a pandemic, wild racial injustice, wild amounts of racism and prejudice and like elections and those heaviness. And what I've noticed is like a complete pivot of a group of people who really want to see things that are enlightening and much lighter than what is on the news networks. And furthermore, that reel was shareable, like highly shareable. People were putting it on their feeds to their followers because they wanted to say the same thing to their followers. So it's not enough for me to show up and be like, let's talk about reels without giving you ideas of how you could create your own inspirational reel for your business and your followers. Here are 3 ideas. Number 1, you can explain how you get through a bad day. People want to know. Number 2, you could share your favorite pump up playlist. Like you can create a reel. This is something that I totally want to do. I want to play 3 seconds of a song for like about 15 seconds of like my favorite pump up songs. Like, you know, I'd probably have a remix of like, you know, Eye of the Tiger, maybe something like Black Eyed Peas, maybe like a little Lizzo. And I would just be, all of it would just be a song mashup on a reel. I think that that would be a lot of fun to create, and it would empower people to get to know me and get to know you according to your pump up playlist. And you can add an element of humor with a joke. Like, I watch TikToks of people saying dad jokes. I think they're hilarious and they get so many views and attention. So those are 3 ideas that you could do to create an inspirational reel today. So just as a quick recap, I know that you guys are asking questions. So number 1, thank you for asking those questions. I'm going to get to them right now, but let's recap the 3 elements of successful reels if you want to be strategic and work smarter, not harder. Number 1, focus on transitions and adding text to those transitions because it'll keep people glued until the end. Number 2, try using a trending song. You can get discovered in this way. And number 3, you want to build connection with your followers by giving them insights on who you are and what you do. Now, the only reason I feel confident talking about this right now is I've created hundreds of reels. Some of them were terrible. Some of them just don't get any views, and some of them have proven to got over millions. So I started seeing trends by the amount of volume of the work that I was creating, and I want to use what I have learned and share it with you. Now, the only way that you can find out what's successful for your audience, because your audience might be different than my audience, it might be different from somebody else's audience, but the only way you're gonna know what works for your account and your audience is to create it. You must do, and then you test it. So I am sitting here understanding that I'm saying, create your reels, let's do it. Now, I've given you the tips, but like, how do you actually use a strategy and build it into your content flow? How do you create them? How do you batch them? How do you share them? What's the best way to do it? I'm going to invite you because I want to walk you through the process of not just creating reels, but incorporating them into a much bigger marketing strategy. I'm teaching a class in just a few days on how to plan, create, and execute a month of social media posts in 1 day. Y'all, this is a live class. You're going to come on camera. You're going to ask me questions. You could save your free seat at jasminestar.com/planning. This is like no attachments, show up. You can get group coaching. You can raise your hand, come on camera. I'm going to be creating social media copy for your post so that you know exactly how to show up. So on that note, I dove in. We spent a little bit of time talking about how we are showing up. We spent about 17 minutes doing that. Let's dive into about 5 or 10 minutes of questions based on things that you're asking, and then we could take it from there. Remember, I am thankful for your ability to connect with me and ask questions because without you, I would be talking into the wind. So your questions help move this content forward. So thank you. Also, Courtney, can you drop a link to the class? Courtney is like rockstar brand ambassador. She's dropping a link to the class right now in the comments. So be sure to click on that and register for this free class. Marissa Kiedis, do you have favorite editing apps? I like, to the best of my ability, I'd like to create a reel in the Reels feature on Instagram and then save it as a draft. If for some reason I want to use a third-party app, I've heard amazing things about InShot. I personally use Video Shop, and it's like $3.99 from the App Store. It's super basic, but it helps me create a reels really fast. Rolene, I love making reels. I noticed that my views have dropped a lot. As a business owner, should I test making more humorous reels as opposed to strictly business reels to see if that helps increase my views again? Number 1, we're going to go back to the thing that I had mentioned, and that would be to create and then test. So Rolene, if you've seen the amount of reels that your views have dropped, I've noticed that too. Now, I want also to pay special attention. I was creating reels when reels first dropped on Instagram. The minute I got that feature, I made a reel because I wanted just to get real-time feedback at what was happening. Now, when they first dropped reels would be on a continuous loop. You would see the reel in your feed, and then if you got to the end, it would repeat. And if you got to the end, it would repeat. And it would stay in that repeating motion as long as it was in the feed. Now, if you see one of my reels on your feed and you get to the end, it will repeat once more. But then to see it again, you have to click on see that reel, and that will take you to the Reels tab. So whereas before you would be able to watch it on a loop in your feed continuously, now what I've noticed is that my views have dropped and I'm mixing up the content. Educational. So the type of reels that I create fall into 3 buckets. Why? I want to streamline my process and not agonize over the content that I'm creating. I'm going to create 3 buckets of reels. And the good news is they all begin with the letter E. Educational, entertainment, or empowering. You will notice that all of my reels and all of my TikToks will come into, I am either educating, entertaining, or empowering. Why? Just, it helps me approach the type of content that I should be creating. Now, sometimes my educational, and actually the examples that I showed here during this chat, you know, one of them was educational, like the 7 mistakes that I made in my business. Like, it's educational because I'm teaching you what not to do. Some of them were entertaining, right? Like that first one, it was like the 5 ways to grow your business on Instagram, and those transitions and me swiping away the text kept it going and entertaining and a little bit silly. The last one, the baby, you inspire people who pretend to not even see you. Trust me, they see you. That was in the empowering category. So I am constantly testing it. And it's not whether one of the 3 E's is better. It's just that the algorithm has shifted a tiny bit and the way that they're presenting it has shifted a tiny bit. But again, Rolene, I want you to test creating entertaining reels versus educational and then see how your audience responds to that. Okay, Laura Lemonade, is there a way to remove the TikTok logo from your reels? Yes. In fact, I made a reel on how to do it. So y'all, I am telling you that as the founder of Social Curator, I am creating educational coaching, educational resources, and then educational tools. Like, so for instance, last week on the inside of our private group, I went live with our video crew and we all made a reel in real time. Because we create content, hey, this is how you create reels. These are the tips and tricks. Here's your strategy. And then we started realizing it wasn't enough. It's not enough for people to know what to do. We actually have to create systems of accountability. So I was like, listen, everybody talks. Oh, I'm going to make a reel. I'm going to make a reel. And it just takes too long. Well, this month we created educational videos on how to batch 3 reels in less than an hour. Awesome. And then all of a sudden I realized, oh, we got to put fire under people's bums. So we went live. I created a reel in real time. Hundreds of people were doing it together. We were all creating this reel. Now, what I teach is what I do and what I learn. I have created a platform for business owners to work smarter, not harder. So whenever I am showing up and like Laura, you just asked, how do I remove that? I am so excited that of the questions, I don't even know more of the questions people are going to answer. I can tell you, oh, I created a piece of content about that. Why? I'm sharing everything I know when I know it to build trust with people so that they would want to show up to a live class next week and sit with her an hour, knowing that their time is going to be well spent on how to market their business. JasmineStar.com/planning. I'll see you there. You can go to musicallydown.com. That's musicallydown, musicallydown.com. What you'll do is you will get the URL from your TikTok. You'll drop it in Musically Down and it'll export as an MP4 without the logo. You can get that MP4, upload it to Instagram Reels, and it'll look a little bit more native to the platform. Cool. Izzy asked, so on Reels, since people are scrolling through Reels, what is the best call to action captions to add? It depends on the content itself. So for instance, Izzy is asking about a call to action, just to ensure that we're all on the same page. A call to action is something you want your followers to do. Leave a comment, tag a friend, answer yes or no, sign up. So I create Reels as people are scrolling, depending on what I want them to do. Sometimes I will put the call to action at the beginning so that I can get people to stop their scroll. And then sometimes I'll put the call to action at the end. So I have created reels for like entertainment purposes. So at the time of this recording, yesterday on Instagram, there is a trend that's going on Instagram and TikTok. And the trend is this audio file that says, how we all feeling tonight? Yeah, I am not feeling good. And so what you'll see are people, you'll do a voiceover, and let's say you're a fitness professional, and like you go out there and you're like, when I arrived to the gym, it's like, how y'all feeling tonight? You're feeling yourself. And then all of a sudden, when you have to like do like a dead squat, then you say, I am not feeling good. It's basically the juxtaposition between two aspects of your life. But if you're a business owner, the juxtaposition of your business. So I use that audio file. Again, I'm classifying it solely as in the entertainment part was how y'all feeling tonight, which is basically I'm holding a cup of coffee and I'm like me on my like third cup of coffee. And then the point where it says, I am not feeling good, I changed the text to like at 12 o'clock, realizing I probably shouldn't drink 4 cups of coffee. So does that reel about coffee point back to my business? Not necessarily, but the copy of when I posted that was, coffee is my productivity. It helps me stay in the game. It helps me stay focused on the things that I need to do in my business. How many cups of coffee do you drink? It was purely entertainment and it was purely for engagement. I want to start talking to people. Why? So that today on Instagram, because that reel was driving engagement and getting people to talk, and I posted it from reels into my story, and then I added how many cups of coffee do you drink, so that I'm getting DMs and talking to people, so that today when I posted a video for a video on an invite to come to the webinar, I got the engagement, keeping my audience hot. So now when I serve up a very specific call to action, sign up for my class, there's a higher likelihood of people seeing it. That was a really long answer, Izzy, to what is the best CTA? Well, it depends on what your objective is. Engagement, getting them to do something, warming up an audience. So Izzy, on issue 19 on the inside of Social Curator, we call it our promotional launch plan. I literally follow a 4-week plan when it comes to promoting or launching something. Right now, you're gonna see exactly where I am because I'm trending. Gotta get engagement, go for the ask. Drive engagement, go for the ask. What am I doing here in this live class? Well, I'm giving and sharing information about what I'm learning about Reels. Why? I'm giving education for what? Engagement. So why? Oh, I'm going to invite you to my class next week. You got to give before you ask somebody to do something. So again, because I'm the founder and CEO of Social Curator, I practice what I preach. I learn what's working, and then I share it with the community with the tools and the resources to move it from there. All right. Okay. I feel like I'm talking a mile a minute. Is it just because I had too much coffee? Am I speaking too fast? No. I'm not speaking fast. People listen slow, and you could rewatch this video. All right, here we go. Shannon, why you got to ask this question, Shannon? Why you got to ask it? You're hitting a little below the belt. This is a soft spot. Shannon says, wardrobe. How do you track what you wear so you aren't repeating? Or do you strategically repeat clothing? I'm trying to up my content game, and this is seriously one of my major concerns. Do you want to know what, Shannon? This is a sore spot. Why? I like clothes, like I like outfits, and I hate shopping. Go figure. And when you're creating this type of content, like, so for instance, I'll tell you tomorrow I'm going to be batching reels, and I try to make like 4 to 7 reels at any given point in time. So I do it twice a month. I'm batching my reels and trying to be as strategic as possible. So imagine I'm taking 7 or 8 outfits to like plan out. And like yesterday, I just realized, I told my husband, I'm like, I haven't been shopping in a month. I like hate everything in my closet. I've worn everything 1,000 times over on all of my Instagram reels. And I'm like, I don't want to go shopping. And he said, okay, what if the baby and I go with you to the mall, and while you shop, I'll take her on the carousel, I'll buy her a balloon, and we could be together, we'll have dinner. And I was like, that sounds great. Listen, if you have an 18-month-old who's highly active and wants everything under the sun and is a very strong personality, going shopping is not fun. Like I was, okay, number one, I didn't buy a single item of clothing. Okay. So there's that. Cause nothing is working right now. Two, the lines are so long. And then I ended up buying her outfits and shoes. And then I was like so tired and exhausted. And then we went to dinner and we had to wait an hour and a half to get a table. Our child is like losing her mind. I don't even like buying snacks for her. I like to do organic and make her own food. And I was so desperate. I was like, get this girl some Cheez-Its. I'm like, let's just get through dinner. I sat down at the dinner table yesterday with my husband and he's like, what's wrong with you? And I was like, he didn't say what's wrong. What did you say? What did you say? He said, are you okay? That's true. I was making the story very dramatic. He says, are you okay? And I was like, this isn't fun. And he was just like, we've been shopping for 2 hours with an 18-month-old. We waited an hour for this table. It's not fun, but we can choose to be happy because this is the thing we've always dreamt about. Okay, so there you go. So Shannon, tomorrow, I'm not going to be wearing any new clothes. I'm going to go into my closet and I'm going to pick stuff that I already have. But here's the thing. I feel like I've worn all of my clothes 18,000 times in all my reels. And you're asking me, hey, how do you manage your wardrobe? So number one, we think people are looking at our clothes a heck of a lot more than people are really looking at our clothes. Number two, I tried to the best of my ability to adhere to like capsule clothing. Capsule clothing means that you have like anchor pieces in solid colors. So you'll see, I have like a lot of like white shirts, black shirts, cream shirts. And so for me, if I don't have a printed shirt, although let's give it up for this shirt. Do you guys like it? I kind of like it. It's kind of like a vintagey kind of feel. I wore this. I already wore this. Did I already wear this? I think I've already wore this in a reel. I'll probably, I don't know, wash it and wear it tomorrow. I don't have any advice. I told my husband that the minute I make it, like I will know I will have made it if I could ever hire somebody just to buy me clothes. That's it. I'm not there yet. So that was a long answer that probably was of no value to anybody, but it's where I am in my life right now. All right, Carrie asked, does the audio show as original when you use a TikTok video instead of showing up as a trending song? So I think this is in relation to how do you remove the TikTok logo? If you use a song on TikTok and you take it to Musical.ly down to extract the logo, the song will stay with that video. And when you upload it to Instagram, it shows as original audio. So for instance, if I'm showing original audio, like if I had to strip it from TikTok, which I don't do as much anymore because I like to make them in reels, what I try to do is to upload the song on Instagram so that you can link back to the original artist. That's what I try to do to the best of my ability. All right, friends. So what we're doing is talking about reels. But the reason why we're talking about reels is not enough to be like, oh, these are really great tips and tricks. Tips and tricks are only good if you actually use the tips and tricks. Can I get an amen? But oftentimes the thing that stops us from using those tips and tricks is because we don't have a clear plan. And when we don't have a plan, we always feel like we're doing it wrong. So this is my very clear and direct invite to join me in a live class next week on how to plan a month of content in one day. I'm going to walk you through how I determine when I post reels, photos, videos, when I go live, what's the posting strategy, why I want to work smarter, I don't want to work harder, and I want people to win. That's right. I want to take your L's and turn them into W's so we can make M's. All right. That's not my line. I stole it from a rap song. Okay. Is that what all the young kids are doing these days? Making mills? Anyway, wow. I need to stop. I'm getting off. I think I've had too much coffee. I'll see you next week in that live class. If you found this class helpful, tag a friend, share it, get people to join this live class because I am dedicated to helping you take your business to the next level. Bye, friends. Have a good one. Take care.